Listen, fuck Spurs, but the way Spurs are moving,
Yeah,
everyone
against
can
this
get a
right
game.
back, Charlie.
This Leicester can't get a game for Spurs. They move 200 bags a week. That's the sacrifice we get And we're back again. We've got the whole nation on strings. Everyone's crying about how Arsenal play. I don't think any Arsenal fan gives a shit. We're just focused on trying to win silverware. But it's nice to see that we're pissing people off, especially the Brighton gaffer. Happy Friday to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Happy Friday. Hope you've all had a great week. Hope the weekend and so on and so forth is amazing for you lot, everyone listening on the replay, everyone in the comments, and everybody in this world apart from the Brighton gaffer, because you're a shameless individual. You've got 9 wins all season. You know, you've got 9 wins all season. So let's think about this logically. You haven't been on the front foot in too many games, specifically having the lead. That is why, statistically, this is what I mean about statistics without context. You've never had to manage a game and just get out of there. You've been behind or not been in the driving seat in God knows however many games in the Premier League this season. Probably equates to around 20%. Of course, you want the play started very quickly. And then even that, you're shameless. Your goalie's up there for wasting time. You're up there for goal kicks. And everybody does this Arsenal thing. I'm not saying we're not offenders because the game's the game. When Wenger was saying football is losing its receipts, it's going more athlete-based, FFP, no one wanted to hear it. So at some point, the bullied have to become the bullies. At some point, you have to adapt and survive. And people are just hating the fact that we do it. Now, everybody's looking at the seconds per restart where Arsenal are concerned, yeah? That's cool. But I want to focus on the Brighton gaffer. Go and look at Brighton's average for seconds per restarts in the Premier League, yeah? And then, this is some homework. Go and write that down, and then go and look at it when they played Manchester City, when they played Brentford, and they played Chelsea, and tell me what you find out. And also, again, he knows we were going into that game off the back of a big game against Chelsea. You know, we're a bit tired. You're getting the light shows. You're getting up for it. You want to test our mettle. You started talking. You talked a lot. Pardon me. Even though there was a lot of dark arts and time wasting last season when Rice got sent off, you talked a lot about that before the game. And obviously, you're talking about it after. You're young and naive. You are a very talented manager. Let's have that right. The Brighton gaffer is very talented. You're not a Premier League manager at 33 years of age if you're not. I do think you play great football. Do think you have ethos. But there's obviously, every manager's got demands. Brighton are trying to do what they're trying to do. If they miss out on European football, they're probably going to be a bit disheartened by that. But you're a very naive manager. I'm just going to play the way I want to play and be loyal to my principles. That is someone, you're even young. I still think Arteta's relatively inexperienced. So that puts into context what you have. You're going to learn that lesson the hard way. You're very young and naive. You know, you're young and you enter the workforce. You've got all these ideas. That's what you've got. And beyond all of that, take your talking points, take the mic at Brighton's gaff, yeah, and shove that where the sun don't shine, you dickhead, man. You know, don't worry, we're going to slap you up when we buck you again. We've slapped you 3 times. 3 points. Clean sheet, 3 points. I don't know about the Pagans, them. So, yeah, 3 wins from 3. Chelsea in the spliff, Tottenham in the spliff, Brighton in the spliff, and the manager crying and shit is what it is. We're going to focus on the FA Cup and keep it moving. If you ain't smashed the like button, smash the like button, people. Big up, DG. You know the game's gone when people are talking about seconds per restarts, man. Wasting time has existed for decades. It has. Donnarumma gets yellow cards for that. I think he's got 6 this season. You know, Sells, big up Nottingham Forest, done the same thing. What a man talking about. No one cared when Ramsdale was getting bullied and bullied at set pieces and pushed into his own box. No one cared when Gabriel was being a bit honest and he was fouled. You have to adapt. It don't make no sense. And even the Brighton gaffer, he's a hothead. Are we all forgetting he tried to swing? We tried to get into handbags with Nuno, Espirito Santo, and also Russell Martin. Are we forgetting that? You go. He had, as a player, he had 6 red cards. He's a hothead. He's a spoiled prick. Hold that, firm that. Go over there and cry. You can keep the match ball if you want. And you think this is one thing I hate. Yeah, they think they can school Arsenal fans. They think they can school us about what's right in the game and set pieces and possession and all of this and beautiful game. You think you can talk to us? You lot are just catching up now. We've been about that. But you lot didn't want to hear it. So they said, all right, cool. We're going to do it better than you. This has to result in silverware, specifically to Arteta. But also, if it's not broke, why fix it? This is the game. It's more athlete focused. It's more focused on, you know, we're in a weird game. We're in a very weird game. Managers are micromanaging. Midfields are packed. And you know what's so mad as well? Yeah, sorry, I'm going everywhere around this. Everyone likes to say Arsenal struggle to break down low blocks and this and that. They've said that numerous times, right? Not just against one team, but several. So we can't be the ones doing overly defending. Then you lot are not opening up for us. But when we're protecting our backyard, it's like you lot don't want to open your front door and leave it open. But you're vexed that we haven't turned on the lights, pulled the blinds, left the door open, and said, "Yeah, come rob our stuff. We're going to work." And it is what it is. It's not making sense. We all know Arsenal fans, yeah. Generally, this season, specific to attack and free flowingness and handbrake down, it's been there in the champs. Generally, we want to see that. It's probably not going to click into gear now. But then also, you can't. People love to say Arsenal have ruined football. And let's focus on the Premier League. Bearing in mind, in Europe, we're entertaining. They say Arsenal have ruined football. It'd be fair to say the art of football is bigger than any football club, right? Arsenal, Man United, whatever have you, any of those clubs, right? So it can't just be an Arsenal issue. If Arsenal are the one team doing it, what's going on to the 19 in the other in the division? And then also on top of that, by all means, I don't think we're perfect in the final third. I'm not necessarily happy with everything I'm saying, but I look at the facts. I'm not saying we're the best at it, and I'm not even saying we don't time waste, but we're not the worst offenders for these things. We're just playing the game better than you. But also let's go away from that and focus on the final third. Yeah, do the maths. We're not the best at it, but we're the best at set pieces. We're up there for set pieces, right? Like goals from dead balls and set pieces and all that. We're up there for touches in the up box. We're actually up there for goals from open play. We play statistically the highest line in the Premier League. You see our centre halves camped. We're in your half. You can't say we don't want to play pool, bro. You can't tell us that. What are you on about? It's not making sense. And the wider discussion is about football. We're in a day and age where obviously there's certain intangibles. Strikers have to score goals. Goalkeepers have to be able to catch, right? But that's not the first thing. Goalkeeper, how good is he with a ball at his feet? Goalkeepers are almost outfield players. How many times you see a goal kick or a restart? It's not actually, it's the centre half taking it and the goalkeeper's offering a passing lane. Obviously, so when the team press, you can get out. Strikers, you're like a sacrificial lamb. It's can you drop into midfield? Striker, you're playing against low blocks. Can you drop into midfield? Can you work the channels? All that kind of stuff. You know, because there's many guys. I don't got no examples, but a lot of these Prem teams or a lot of the managers in the modern day, yeah, you could have a striker that is okay in terms of link up play and all of that, but it's not. I don't know why I'm not gassing him up, but it's not a Gabriel Jesus type of thing. You could have that man can get 20 odd goals. And then you could have, I don't know, a 6 out of 10 striker that you could get you, let's say 10, maybe 12 goals a season. He's not like you could have a next Erling Haaland or someone just a couple decibels below Erling Haaland. And you could have a decent striker that isn't prolific but can get goals. Teams are going to pick my man because of what he can do without the ball. It is what it is. Like, this is the game. Like, it's stop-start. Football's never been closer to NFL as it has been. Every manager in all of the leagues, my manager definitely has been moaning. People told him to shut up. David Moyes moans about it. Slotter's moaned about it. Carrick's moaned about it. But you're getting better and have got better at set pieces. So you understand it's a necessary evil. Crazy works, but it is what it is. I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. No, I don't care about that. Big up yourself, Rob. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. We just hit 73,000 subs. I didn't even know about that, have we? We ain't done that. Oh, when it's frozen now. Can you lot still hear me? Oh. We can't have. Fair enough. It'll be done. You know what? We'll probably go down because it's 73,000. DG Nation. And 2, if that's even 73,002. So there'll be people that are unsubscribed. So we need to wait a bit, man. We'll take that in after the watch along, innit? But yeah, man. Big up BG. She's always here. Yeah. It's too bad about MLS. Thought this could have been his full midfield debut. Now, that's something I discovered just before I went on this live stream, people. And, you know, if anyone doesn't know what's being referred to, he's obviously picked up at too many yellow cards. He's ineligible for Mansfield. Honestly, don't know for the 11. A couple of the boys that you want the night off, they might have to get a 10, 15 minutes and things of that ilk. And, you know, you have to hope that, obviously, Mansfield, there's a golfing class. Football isn't one on paper. It is their cup final. They're going to make this difficult, but you kind of want it to be a straightforward process. The game's done in the first 20 minutes or whatnot. Because if it's one of them where they're at it, ants in the pants, they take the lead, it's a close game, you are going to have to draw for certain individuals. And even that, it's all fun and games saying, this is an opportunity for Hincapié to get some minutes. This is an opportunity for Kai Havertz post-injury Calafiori and Kai Havertz. They're not going to play 90 minutes. And if they do, you're not really going to play anything significant on the Wednesday. And even if I just share my screen, obviously, we've done well this season, but we're at the results. You know, I kind of, like we've been talking about how football's changed and what we want to see with the gaffer. I can only speak for myself. I've been very critical on, I want to see a run of good attacking performances and some of the wrongs of last season I don't feel have been made right. Obviously, I just want to win the title by hook or by crook. But I've said that from August to the end of the year, from the end of the year till February. We're now in March. That isn't gonna. The penny's not gonna drop. Whether that's on the gaffer or the attacking players to really go up the gears, I don't think that's gonna be the case. I hope there's some good levels of form, but I'm talking about the collective in it. We just have to keep doing what we're doing. And again, next week's an important week. You got to deal with Mansfield. Obviously, we all know on the Wednesday, the game we've got Leverkusen away. We need to get 3 points against Everton. Admittedly, people, I did think either with Jess or with Luke on the Monday, when we was doing the win-lose-draw game, I just think that's a draw. I just feel I'm used to David Moyes spanners in the works of whatever we're trying to achieve. Of course, I hope I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel, man. Big up Karma and Linz as usual. And yourself, Rob. DG, great job on Rants' show today. Big up Rants, always a great show with you too. Appreciate you, Rob, for being over there, man. And big up Rants and everyone that obviously follows. But yeah, man, Josh, they act like this is something new, but it is what it is. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not about to complain because my club has taken 20 years to catch up. And for me, again, all this Arsenal being villains, I don't care about the villains. I don't care about being villains, you know. I really don't care about being villains. We're trying to be heroes to ourselves, the players to themselves, everyone connected internally at the club and all of us. And also, when you go sit there and you deep it, yeah, what sporting athlete, if you want to do the boxing analogies and golf and Lewis Hamilton, or you look at relating it or other team sports, or you relate it back to football, when have these teams that have achieved stuff universally been liked? Obviously, I would say the exception is Leicester, because no one ain't, unless you're in the Midlands, no one ain't got no problems with Leicester. But generally, Liverpool, when they won the league, when they calling them VAR Liverpool or something, like they were calling them VAR. People used to say City were boring, where it's death by 1,000 passes. Or what chance do we have? I don't care about that. Entertaining for me, I don't want entertainment. I want 3 points. I want boring. Discipline's boring. Keep clean sheets. Score more goals than the opposition. Maneuver into finals. Bring trophies home. The fun can be parades. The fun can be when we look back at some of the games and some of the moments. I want to look back and say, boy, I was vexed about Wolves away and things. Left foot in front of the right. Because psychological factors are going to play a part now. Because obviously, we've got 7 game in hand, but there's a 7-point cushion. Ideally, if everything pans out the way we need it to pan out, it will extend to 10 points before, obviously, City kick a ball in it. But that point gap could be eroded if they win there. If they were to worst case scenario, they don't drop no more points. They win their game in hand. Obviously, they beat us. That changes to a point. And I do think Arsenal and City, there's going to be a lot of fluctuation. Me personally, I think we're in a good position. But for me to truly believe we're going to win the Premier League, just speaking with my heart, I think we need to win at the Etihad. But then there's even a reality. You lose at the Etihad, you win the title, or you win at the Etihad and you got fuck all to celebrate in terms of the Premier League. So as cliche as it is, one game at a time, and boys, just get it done, bro. Just get it done. It's as simple as that. Just get it done now. Just get it done. No one get too excited. And I think we've all guilty of that. Because again, I'm speaking for myself. I didn't think it was mathematically over against Wolves. But Wolves away, I did think it was gone. So if I thought it was gone there, and you're seeing how it pans out now, you can't really get excited. And if you didn't think the league was finished when we drew points against Wolves, obviously with City dropping points and us getting 9 from 9, you can't think it's done yet. And I do agree with Arteta that it's the most exciting part of the season. When I remove my Arsenal cap and just look at football and the freak results and what could happen, it is that, isn't it? So yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. Time wasting has gone on for decades, but it's only what Arsenal do is put under the magnifying glass. We're the only team, so I embrace it. Do you support Arsenal? No, don't care. When we get this one over the line, cool. Next season, I want to retain it, and even I don't count my chickens before they hatch, because obviously we need to get this over the line. But if we got this over the line, and then we fast forward a year from now, and we assumed everything kind of played out exactly the same way, so a year from now, we're still in this. Everything we've discussed this year is a year from now. And if it was a set piece thing, let it be a set piece thing. Like, just get over the line, innit? But next season, when that monkey is off our back, when that itch has been scratched after 20-odd years, then you can start talking to me about, oh, yeah, we want sexy football. We want to keep doing what we're doing defensively. We want players up there to win golden boot and assists and this and that. Bro, just get ting over the line. Because focusing on my attackers, obviously, all the teams played a part. And goals win games. The man have scored goals. If we do win this league, it's the defenders like Magalhães and a Rice. It's our defensive third and that third. So this might not be anybody, whether it's Saka, Gyökeres, Eze, Trossard, Martinelli, Odegaard, Kai. They might not, in terms of your individual season and your job and what you need to do in an Arsenal shirt, It might not be your most standout season, but it'll be your most significant season at Arsenal. Because if you all stay 5 years at this club, let's just assume they're all here 5 years, 20 years from now, am I necessarily going to remember 2022, 23, 24 when we lost it at the end, how much of a blur because it was shit last season? You're going to be like, oh my days, 2025, 26, you might won the league, whether it's by a point or 10. So let's get it done. And I'm with Josh. I'm not a fan of it, but the game's the game, bro. I'd rather be in this position where we're recognizing the footballing climate we're in and we're taking advantage of whatever we could take advantage of, like other teams, rather than, as much as I love Wenger, but during the Emirates era, where we're trying to be football purists and romantics, where you're just surrounded by villains, bro. You've got to adapt. And it's got, you know, they're saying in life, it's got to get worse before it gets better. This kind of football that we see, and I do think, again, I'm not watching European leagues week in, day in, day out, but I think this is a specific Premier League issue. It's got to get a lot worse. There's going to be more stoppages, more whatever. Any rules they change going into next season, like every club should be doing, immediately find a way of exploiting it. I hope Spurs go down, bro. Tell them DG haters will hate. Facts, DG. It's a wide discussion, but let's pin it all on Arsenal because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets whatever. It is what it is. You look, talk on my club. It is what it is. Just, when decisions go against us, we'll hold that. When it goes for us, it is what it is. As you lot always say, see me say, and I extend it to Brighton, control what you can control, innit? Control what you can control, because whatever the Brighton manager's got to say, he knew that was the case going into the game. He knew that. We've been there. He knew that we were going to waste time and do all of that kind of stuff based on what he said. And whatever you think about Arsenal and the ref, they're not what you can control. What you can control is your goalkeeper not spilling that Saka effort, is you had several chances to go and wrap up the game. You didn't do such. And I'll be saying the same things, obviously, if like we was in their shoes, innit? So it is what it is, man. The one criticism I've had of us is that we always tried to play sexy football, but never tried to adapt to do things that won us other trophies. There you have it. He feels the guilt inside DG. He needs to hold it, man. But yeah, we got 73,000, man. We got 73,000. Without you lot, it isn't possible. Trust the process. Road to 30 is alive and kicking. Imagine Spurs actually lost both games against City like their fans wanted. They'd be 18th with 25 points. That's why I don't feel sorry for Spurs fans, because you were twerking for the pagans then. You thought it was funny. Now look at you. I still don't think you're going to get relegated, but reality is 2 wins in 2026. The last 11 games are horrible. The last 5 all have L's in the Premier League. Your players look disillusioned. I think the one thing I think you don't have is that I won't say teams are worse than you, because they're not at this moment in time, but you're not bottom. And I think there's some other teams that might go down. But when you look at the teams in and around them now, Wolves probably are still gone. But some people got them to fight out of it. They're all together. Regardless of how it pans out for Wolves, them and the manager, same hymn sheet. Forest, same hymn sheet. Who else is there? West Ham, same hymn sheet. Spurs, disillusioned. I said it on Rancy's stream. Spurs look like anyone that's played Sunday League. If I'm a Sunday League manager and I've got a group chat, a massive group chat, whoever is available on the Sunday, you're going to play. And that's genuinely what it looks like. Don't get it twisted. I'm not naive. As much as players sit there and tell fans stuff, it is a job. But I look at Spurs. They're not playing for any pride in the fans, any pride in themselves. So everything else is irrelevant. Half these players are probably on the phone to their friends and agents and advisors. Yo, is this club interested? Can we do that? If I can't get a permanent move, can I get a loan? That, boy, it is what it is. And I do think Spurs are lucky that, like them and United, obviously United got their act together. But United were quite lucky, like Spurs, that they were shitter teams than them last year. This year, United have obviously learned. They had some terrible times at the start. They're third right now. Spurs ain't got their act together. So yeah, man. Kyler, appreciate you for the super chat, my boy. Congrats on 73,000. Come on, you Gunners. We're winning this league. Fingers, toes, and everything else crossed, man. I didn't like Leicester winning, Carl. We finished runners up, but I had to respect it. It's true, man. I'm not gonna lie. When big up Arsenal's fans' reactions to Welbeck as well, against Brighton, but when Welbeck scored that goal, I did think, oh, could it be our year? Sometimes it's just your time. The man said, DG, define entertaining. I mean, I get it when the box is part, it can be boring, but is it a battle within the concept of entertaining? People should go to a movie if they want to be entertained. Trust me, if you want to be entertained, go watch Wayne Rooney Street Striker, or go watch Brazil from back in the days play Jogo Benito, really. Go and do that. Entertainment is subjective. It's like music. There's rock and roll, there's hip hop, there's this, there's that. I can like one genre without the other. Like, I don't think football in the Premier League is entertaining. Maybe a bit of that is nostalgia. But then I could sit there and say it's a level. I could flip my own argument, because that's what you should be doing in life. It's a level playing field. Any of the traditional top 5 or top 6 and Spurs, if you don't know why they're a top club, 9 times out of 10, it's not when they're playing each other where there's the spanners in the works. It's when you got to go Sunderland away. It's when you got to welcome Bournemouth to your place. There's a level playing field. Every manager is a tactician and a micromanager in their own right. Everyone's got their own scouting gig. Of course, money and these things play a part, but it's a level playing field. And I can't tell you, if somebody sits there and says they like how the game's gone, where it's a packed and condensed midfield, it's interchanging systems. I can't sit there and tell you that's not entertaining. So it is what it is, man. I think in 2025, Spurs had more concerts than home wins or thereabouts. They genuinely could do that again. By God's grace, we need that. We want that. Pick up yourself, Ace, as well. We need that, man. And I wonder how the Spurs hierarchy feel, because you're still going to get Beyonce concerts. You are going to take a financial hit owing to getting relegated, but it is what it is. But yeah, the Premier League is parked off at this moment in time. We know we've got Everton next. I don't predict West Ham to do anything against City, but we hope and pray that A, Arsenal do their job, and B, obviously points are dropped their people. So it kind of is what it is. And we are at that point for Arsenal in all the games we've got and everybody where unpredictable performances and results happen in it. So yeah, we know that nothing's decided. Look through the league, nothing is decided. Can realistically, 8 games. Anyone actually genuinely think Wolves can get out of this? Their last 5 games have been decent, innit? Like what, 2 draws and obviously 2 wins and a singular loss. Anyone back Wolves to get out of it? Because if anyone backs Wolves, indirectly, mathematically, you have to back Burnley. Obviously, with the eye test included, it's very different. Does anyone back Wolves genuinely to get out of this? I don't, but stranger things have happened. And while a lot of things need to go their way that is out of their discussion, and they need to win games, you never know. Burnley, I think, are gone. I'm not going to lie, I do think the relegation race stays like this, but I would pray with everything I've got that West Ham, Nottingham Forest can get out of it, Leeds and Brighton. Brighton, I don't care. Brighton, I respect you as a club, but, your manager needs to go. And obviously hope these lot go. They've got Liverpool next. Even on paper, it's weird, man. It's weird because football matches aren't won on paper, but thank the Lord I'm not a Spurs fan. Where's the wins coming from? Because you got to play the champs and you've got injuries, so you kind of have to play the same team kind of thing. Liverpool are fighting for top 4 and there's pressure, so they should be winning that. But it wouldn't surprise me if Spurs go and win that. Like, I do think Spurs will win at least 2 games in this run. I can't tell you where it's going to come because on paper and right now, if I was putting down money, regardless of if I think Liverpool have been amazing, I expect Liverpool, especially at Anfield, to deal with Tottenham Hotspur in it. They're going to move to them. Big up Crystal Palace. South London forever. The streets are our own way, and the borough's red. We have to remind them the city's red as well, man. But yeah, can't see it happening there. Don't really care about them in the champs. They're not on nothing serious anyways. But can't see them winning at Anfield if I was putting money down on the 6th of March. Nottingham Forest, they could, to be fair, they could. But I can't for definite say Spurs are going to win that. And don't get twisted, they just need points. Sunderland away. Sunderland taking a bit of a wobble, but I hope Granit Xhaka and everyone connected at that ground gives them something. If I was a Spurs fan, just anything away from home, I'm going to be even more shook in it. But maybe playing away from home could be what they need, because playing at their place is a toxic environment. The only thing Spurs have that is top quality is their stadium, apart from the colour. But yeah, it is what it is. Expensive toilet. But yeah, can't on paper say for sure they're winning in Liverpool away, Forest at home, Sunderland away. I reckon they bought Brighton, but Brighton could move to them. Wolves could get points off them. They're more galvanized. Aston, you know what the weirdest thing is looking at this year? It wouldn't surprise me if Spurs lose against Forest or drop, let's just say drop points here, definitely Chelsea. But you could include Chelsea. It wouldn't surprise me if Anfield, it would, but it wouldn't. If at Anfield, in Liverpool's case, Villa Park in Aston Villa's case, and Stamford Bridge, if they were to get something from them away games, I don't know, and I don't care. But just generally looking at the table, everything's to play for, innit? You don't know for sure who's going down. Mid-table isn't really solidified, and Sunderland have to be grateful in it that top flight security has never been like an issue, and they could finish above Newcastle. And this is what I mean. Sunderland have been flying, but there's a bit of normalization because Newcastle probably had a terrible season. Sunderland have been good, but Sunderland, in my opinion, I'd be a bit disappointed. I know, like, if I was I wouldn't say ungrateful Sunderland fan because they've earned it. Their manager, probably the most underrated manager in the Prem, like Enzo Lafise, one of the most underrated players in my opinion. But if I was a grateful, ungrateful Sunderland fan, I might be thinking, oh, could we have schemed on Europe? But nothing's decided. You don't know who's going down. You don't know for like these kind of places. Top 10, obviously, you don't know where everyone's gonna fit. The race for top 4 is mad, and then even that, you've got Aston Villa, Man United, you got Chelsea, Newcastle, you got you got some big games there in it. So even Brentford got it's a great end to the season, isn't it? It's a great end to the season. Like the vids, guys, it's not hard. The Brighton manager proved on Sunday that he'll never manage a top 6 side. I wouldn't say that. He's still young and naive, bro. He's still young and naive. He's like, I'm going to play my way or the highway. He's not been promoted to adapt, to get over the line. I do think as I said at the start, the man's 33. Plays good football, strong to his principles. He's 33, managing in the Premier League. You're set to have a great career. I think he's actually won the 2nd division in the Bundesliga. I could stand corrected, or the reserve league or something, but you're still young and naive. You're showing me naivety and a lack of street smartness. That will stop you getting them kind of jobs there, man. Why should any club be looking to entertain their rivals? For any fan of any club, isn't the most important thing winning trophy. Just winning games, full stop. Should only be interested in entertaining your own bloody fan base. I honestly think we look better when we play with Kai. I can't wait until he's fully back fit. We need everyone for what's left of this season. I know we're kind of, today at the very least, we've kind of been focusing on the Premier League. Obviously, we all know we've got the FA Cup tomorrow. I think it's a 12:15 kickoff. I'll be live from 11:15 a.m. But yeah, we're still in all comps and City, and that will play a part directly or indirectly. And again, in entertainment, this is the only entertainment I want to see, bro. This is all I want to see in N5. This is it. I don't care, but this is entertaining as hell to me, and I'm sure you lot as well. Set piece again, or let boys just hold tight. And again, I have covered this. In the Premier League, Arsenal are joint top for average goals scored, 2 per game. Top for touches in the opposition box. 2nd for possession, 1 in the final third. 3rd for shots on target. And top for goals conceded. So if we're the boring ones, and you factor in, we statistically got the highest line in the Premier League. Everyone says we need to break down low blocks, so we're not the only ones. And all of these other positive statistics, we're up there for open play, corners, touches in up box, etc. And we're not necessarily happy with our attack. It's not us ruining football. It's not. Because I guarantee you wouldn't have an issue if we were shipping goals for fun. You wouldn't have an issue. It is what it is. There's a 27% chance that Arsenal win the league and Tottenham get relegated. Make it happen, man. Big up Alan Shearer, man. He's hit back at the Brighton gaffer. Let's see what the legendary striker said. I think there was only one team. Oh, sorry, this was you. I don't really care about that. I want to hear what Alan Shearer has said. Eve, man. Alan Shearer added, none of that is Arsenal's fault. Come the end of the season, if they win the league, they've found a way to be the best team in the league. The Arsenal fans will not give a jot what anyone says if they go out and win the title. Facts. Gary Lineker said, I've got one or two, and off topic, but have you not seen that podcast with Michael Richards, Alan Shearer, and Gary Lineker, especially when they're talking about that Wayne Rooney bicycle, like the synergy and everything between those lads? Amazing stuff. Just need to get Ian right, man. Would rather you lot make your own show than the overlap stuff. Like, Paul Scholes is a dickhead, isn't it? Like, such a twat. For someone that barely did interviews as a player, you sure, whenever you open your mouth as a retired footballer, like, you piss people off to the point where maybe we used to think you was one of the quiet lads, you just wanted to do your business and go home. Maybe Alex Ferguson and Man United knew what you was really like. They didn't want to hear no verbal. And it's a bit weird from ex-Man United players, I feel like. Scholes going after Carrick. I don't disagree with Evra, but Evra going after Neville chatting off. Like, they're all kind of a bit. Rooney's the only one that I feel just is cool, but like the ex-Man United players, it's got nothing to do with United. I just feel you man are weird, if I'm honest. I've got 1 or 2 Arsenal friends. A friend of mine, Brack, I don't know, a lifelong Arsenal supporter, text me asking, why is everyone having a go? Why do they hate us so much? And I say to him, you've got to take it as a compliment. Facts. And there is that section of our fan base, bro. They don't like us. I know it's not fair and you just want a fair trial, bro. We're not going to get that. Football's mirror society. If we were to use football, the defendants are us, Arsenal. We're going in front of 12 jurors and the judge. The jury have been swayed. The judge is corrupted. It is what it is. We need a miracle in it. Stop seeking validation from people like that. You're preaching to the deaf. If that's what you're on, that's what you're on. But I love you lot as Arsenal fans. Please just allow it in it. Just focus on what we need to focus. When we lose, they're going to chat nonsense. When we win, we're going to chat nonsense. Let's just focus, in which the vast majority of it, no one could say Arsenal fans are unbearable and stuff like that. You're projecting because you know we've been on a joke thing for 20 years and you're going to have to address for your sins. You lot talk about us more than we talk about ourselves. Even if all of the million Arsenal fans around the world, were to be loudmouths and talking all the time, Nobody likes us, allegedly. And they say we act like it's us against the world, but then they say nobody likes Arsenal. So what do you want to have? It don't make sense when you actually listen. But if everybody is against us, we've got, like, let's just say we got 1 million Arsenal fans. You got 1 million United fans, 1 million Chelsea, one this. We even beef from Fulham and Brighton and Newcastle and all these teams. We're clouded out. We're just handling business and just cutting out. So this is what I'm saying. You can see it yourselves. Any football fan can see it. Like, come on. And then they'll gaslight, oh, victims. No, we definitely ain't no victims. You just know you lot are talking nonsense. And it can be exhausting when I get the media gigs to have to keep fighting these rhetorics. I mean, I get it. Arsenal's golden clickbait and whatnot, but it is jarring, like preaching to the death, bro. And this is why I think my biggest skill is I can read people. I've got all the time in the world for fans of the game. You know, if we've all got caps on, yeah, like Arsenal, whatever, we can all have a laugh and a joke. But if you're fans of the game of football, I can have a civilized discussion with you about the good, the bad, ugly of your club and also my club. If you're just on this tribal rage bait, everything's black and white, agendas, nonsense stuff. And what's even mad, people say we're boring to watch. Why are you watching all the games? Our last game against Brighton for us was nervy, but Arsenal offered nothing. There was 5 other games on. Why weren't you watching that? Because you can't have the cake, you can't have your cake and eat it, you know. You're either calling us boring, watching us week in, week out. So we can't be that boring. If it's coming like EastEnders, you're not missing it. Or you're saying we're boring, so you're not watching us. So then when you're making these generalizations, you've got no basis. Which one do you want? You can't have your cake and eat it. I don't tell you what to think, just think. But I hear it, man. It's easier to think. I mean, it's harder to think. It's easier to talk. And that goes for society, innit? If people listened as much as they spoke, God gave you 2 of these, 1 of these. Before you point a finger, there's 3 looking back at you. So look internally at least 3 times before you point and ask a question to someone else. The life would be great, innit? But unfortunately, that's not that. So I digress anyways, people. Smash the like button. You don't get this anyway. You don't get banter, stoicism, general, just most sexiest YouTuber. Like it's just all lit over here, innit? Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, because we will be spamming your YouTube feeds over the next few days. It's because you're a threat. That's why they do it. I think some of them do take it a bit personally, but if they do go on to win the league, they'll get all the plaudits, except for those who are jealous. Enjoy that, I would say. Fuck their plaudits. Because, oh, you done it playing ugly. I don't care. The Invincibles were not the Invincibles, you had to say they're winners. But you look at the Invincible sides, the City sides, the Chelsea side, the United side. Nobody's ever unanimously liked them. Of recent, Leicester's the only one that everybody was cool because they're not seen as a threat, and it is a beautiful thing. Who cares? Nobody likes Mayweather like that, but you all have to recognize his greatness. You can nitpick and say the style and this and that. Like, bro, man will say the Invincibles were not good in the Premier League. They will use and again, Arsenal have been underachieving in Europe. One of my biggest regrets of that season is obviously how we went out against Chelsea. But if you're talking about the Invincibles, that is relevant to the Premier League. They didn't lose a Premier League game. They're like, oh, 11 draws, 11, 12 draws. They still never lost a game. Where there's some teams that didn't lose, you know, if you look at some of the points tallies over the years, and I'm not criticizing these teams, but some of the points that were required to win certain leagues, the amount of draws and these things, you could discredit anything. The goalposts always move. As long as we put that in the cabinet, achieve that history, no one don't give a monkey's, or I certainly don't. Time is a limited currency, you know. It's a currency we all got to spend. You lot want to spend it preaching to the deaf and blind and ignorant as well. Imagine someone deaf, blind, and ignorant, and you want to give them your time of day. Fair play, though, man. And as for the Brighton gaffer, remember, we slapped you 2-1 and we can do the ugly thing. So less of that. Thank you, man. And I have to bring this up from White Yardie once again. Shout out Alex, by the way. I did a show with him, Abby, and Harry on TalkSport. Check that out and drop a WDG in that chat. Arsenal are bottle jobs, Arsenal are bullies, only score from set pieces, boring, time wasters, ruining the game, cheating. Who cares, man? They're always going to find the next thing. And our boy Magalhães has hit back at such claims as well, people, man. All the smooth brains in the media fanning that Hürzeler BS. Let them do that. Paul Scholes polarized on purpose. Pardon me, I can imagine him. He was told from the media he's working for to chat shit to get attention. I genuinely think that's Gary Nev. We're the most hated and rated, bro. But who cares, bro? But they can say what they want. DG, best take since Wednesday is Simon Jordan. Love him or hate him. Says Arsenal used to be slated for being soft, and now they're finding ways to win. They aren't playing free-flowing football. We can't win. We can't win, bro. Now, when it comes to society mirroring football, I've got no time to listen to Simon Jordan because I think he talks from a place of privilege. But them kind of things, he's in his bag, innit? And to be fair, like, It's breaking my heart a bit, but he took a Luco to the cleaners. But Magalhães has hit back. And there's too many things to care about. Like, if I put myself in Magalhães' shoes, I've signed a new deal. I want to win. I've been part of a team that's had some good battles and some good nights, hasn't got over the line. I want to fuck with my manager. I care about my fans. When I'm not playing football and I'm trying to get to the World Cup and I've had injuries and I don't know what's going on with my life in certain things. I don't know what's going on in his life. But there's certain things he needs to worry about from a footballing point of view. And remember, he's got a family and all these kind of things, family back home. He's a human being. You've got all of that also, yeah? And then also on top of that, you've got a wife and kid. That's more things to care about. And you're going to give a crap about what the Brighton manager says? Well, if you died tomorrow, God forbid, is he coming to your funeral? Is he paying your mum's bills? Is he going to look after your young one? And I send that to the half of the squad. Well, all of the squad, everyone connected to Arsenal in any way. Who cares, man? Let them talk. Because I'd rather not. I don't care if you speak. I'd rather not be spoken of. But you've got to be somewhat decent. No one don't talk about no one that's not got nothing going on. If you ain't got haters, you need to find a new hustle in it. But anyways, let's see what our big man has said. He's been speaking to Brazil. We don't really care what he says. That is for the ref to decide on the pitch. If he wants to give a yellow or not, he decides the time we take. We just have to do things the way we are doing and keep going. And I want to crash it on Brighton all the time now. This is why you need to go. I got no problems with Brighton. You don't, man. You're just a prick, really, isn't it? Like, nerd. Like, oh my God, I did all the XG and the game state, and they don't want to make it easy for me. Get used to it, lad. Do you know how many times we struggled to break down low blocks? Do you know how many times we had 90% of possession, 2 million shots, all these things? They get a set piece, rough us up, push us, keep it moving. That 0-0 against Newcastle in 2022-23 at the Emirates, when they were, and it's nothing to do with Newcastle. The game is the game. They were praised for dark arts. The ball was out of play for a record moment. They were hella physical. We had a pen shout not given. Man, I've seen man pull down and yank down my players. I've seen my keeper pushed into his net. There was a time set pieces used to be cash money. So you think I give a fuck that now we've clocked, okay, rather than crying, woe is me, let's do whatever. It's like it's a terrible example, but it's like in school, you're getting bullied, people are hitting you. Listen, no one likes to tell it, but you're telling the teacher's not doing nothing. You smack man in the face now and you bust his nose. Now you're the bad guy. You might be the bad guy, but it's a lot better now, ain't it? Anyways, people. What has Saka spoken? Is I'm a bit disappointed. I thought there was more comments based on how they styled the article. I thought there was more comments from Magalhães, but let's see what the captain of that Brighton victory, Bukayo Saka, 300 appearances, 300 bags. And interesting, I might make a video. I know nobody wants to hear this, but Saka, in every metric apart from goals and assists, it will surprise you. I know you don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it either because it is a goals and assisting, but that we need. But it's just some food for thought. We just want to continue going our way, winning. People say whatever they want to say, whether we play the most beautiful football, or if we score from a set piece, they will still talk. For us, we just want to win games, and we're now getting closer to the end of the season. Can't imagine a single Arsenal fan has anything to say. To be fair, Liam Resina, apart from we can allow the club you manage and the nonsense at the Emirates, we can allow you. I think you and Pep Guardiola have been spot on. Like, obviously, you might not necessarily want to play like this, but the game's the game. Liam Resina's probably had to do stuff he doesn't. Well, let's focus on the more experienced players. Arteta has probably had to do things in the game he don't want to do. Pep definitely with his years put in. Carlo, Jose, the list goes on. You think how they've started the game, which someone like the Brighton gaffer at 33, obviously he's been in the game a minute, like a couple years now. You think them lot went through their whole career not having to adapt or change or do things they don't necessarily agree with? This is what I mean. He's speaking from a place of privilege. I think the most beautiful thing about football is you can play any way that you want to play if you believe in it. They believe in what they do. Everyone has a different idea. That's why you have different managers with different styles. I'm not here to judge. I don't judge any other team. I respect every team in the way that they go about things, and you have to find a way to adapt and overcome it. What else can you say? So you and Pep Guardiola, grown men responses there. Simple as that. Arsene Wenger has spoken. My white granddad, man. Big up the father, Wenger. He needs to be on that parade bus as well. Him and David Dean, they need to be on the bus. Arsenal are winning the league. No, I don't. Is this real? Is this legit? Arsenal are winning the league. No excuses, no explanations. They have everything it takes to do it. And if they win it, it will not be because their opponents were too weak. They can be like that. That means they can be too weak. We're too strong for them. Arsenal only won the league because of the strength of the league. What does that say about the other 19? They said that around Liverpool. So what does that say about City? Nobody says City just win the league because of the state of the league. And I just don't care about it. But this is what I mean. When you actually check and listen to what he said, don't really make sense. Yeah, you've got people that don't like us, echo chamber, twats are gonna be twats. If you're part of us, if you run a circus, you're always gonna have a lot of people watching clownery in it. Really, there's gonna be more people that go to a circus than more people that go to a mosque or a church or whatever and do sensible things in their lives, in it, or goes to a book club or whatever have you. In fact, this has been one of the greatest Premier League seasons of the century. A season where almost every team has had its moments at the top. There are periods where Bournemouth looked unstoppable. Then Sunderland took control. Chelsea dominated. Liverpool surged. Aston Villa looked like contenders. And now City are having their run. At different moments, every one of these teams made people believe they could win the league. But through all of that chaos, there's been one team that kept standing. Arsenal. Constant, consistent, resilient. Father Wenger, man. Confidence, competence, consistency. That used to be my 3 C's. I just wanted to say it because Wenger was saying it. Oh, God, please let me meet him one day, man. When the setbacks came, Arsenal remained there. Their quality, mentality, experience, and beliefs has taken them further than many expected. And believe me, when Arsenal win this league, it will not just be a title. It could be the beginning of a long and dominant era. Listen, brother, father, I love you, but let's just get the first one. And again, I'm not saying we're the best at this. But City used to be quite higher up at wasting time and things. City look a bit naive defensively. They're high for average ball in play percentages. So the street smartness kind of needs to be brought back into City. But again, my thing is not to debate whether Arsenal are the worst defenders or the best defenders. It's just you only know about my football club. For example, looking at Spurs, they're shit. We know this. We've got 16 corners. How many people know Spurs have scored 13 corners? And actually, when you look at it, a higher percentage relative, we've scored more corners, but a higher percentage of their goals has been through corners. Not to mention at some point, who the hell was their top goal scorers? And I'm not even here to slag off Spurs. They're shit. They're not wasting time. My thing is, you just know about our team. But we're not the worst offenders. We're literally not the worst offenders. We're not the worst offenders. Nobody knew that we're higher than Leeds, West Ham, Wolves, Sunderland, Palace, Chelsea, United, Villa, Brentford, Spurs, Bournemouth, Newcastle in this metric. That's my point. By all means, you can ask questions about our thing and whatnot, but where are we going? I'm not going to read this out yet. Van der Sar was a legendary goalkeeper, but he's smoking spice because he has said Raya's not world class. That's not my debate. My debate is you can't sit there and listen. You played for Man United. You won trophies. I'm just an armchair expert. But you can't say Raya's not world class and then tell me Onana's world class. Silliness. And more silliness. Patrice Evra said, people think I hate Arsenal, but I just love banter. When I was playing, Arsenal were always an easy target to play against. Not now, but times have changed. City drew against Nottingham Forest is a big boost. And even if Brighton had a lot of chances, Arsenal won. This is a sign of a Premier League winner. I've been there 5 times. Some away wins can be very ugly. It was a good chance for City to keep the gap close. I don't think it's over, but that win against Brighton was big for Arsenal. And again, some of you lot are shameless, because you're getting into that scenario where we've bantered Arsenal, but like, fair enough if they get it done. So you're trying to twang the little images. It's not going to go past me. And you know what? Half of these football fan bases, like the commoners, like me, you lot, yeah. We've all got friends that support other clubs, especially those of us in London. Do you know why they're shameless? Because and I say if because it's not done, if we do have a parade, you don't think all of them are going to be at the parade? Oh, there's girls there, man. Hey, come on, man. It's going to be a massive party. Probably be bigger than Carnival, mate. Slight exaggeration, but you get the point. I want Arsenal to win the league. Fair enough. Every Man United fan should want us to win the league rather than twerking for City. I saw a Manchester-based City fan twerking for them. And don't get twisted. I don't care who wants us to do what, who says whatever. If you don't support Arsenal, I don't really give a monkeys, really. I just hope they don't bottle it again. People like the joke I made about calling them Netflix. We always have to wait for next season. Come on, Arsenal. You could do it this year. But I wouldn't be surprised if they bottle it again. You know what? Fair enough. You can't be surprised. Past history isn't kind. But at some point, a new beginning has to be written, in it. Simple as that. He said, I don't care if they don't play attractive football, waste time, or bend the rules. They need to win the Premier League at any cost. Mikel Arteta is not here to please anyone. He's here to win. If that means relying on set pieces or putting the club style aside for big trophies, so be it. Fair play, man. Has there been a press conference from Mikel Arteta, or they kind of allowing it? We got to remember, once again, Miles Lewis-Skelly can play no part against Mansfield. Too many yellows. Who's been in training? Okay, Cala, Harriman and Noose. Could, give a couple of these young G starts. Jesus, you're going to be out there. Between Trossard and Martinelli, we're going to need you. We all want to see Dalman. Oyen Duke is out there in training. Norgard, Kai, we want to see you. Seferovic, John. Nice to see as many kids on the bench as possible. No need as a start there. Mascara. Gyökeres Eze, little man minutes, but I'm more thinking Leverkusen for you lot. Hincapié as well. You probably come off the bench. Training, being a professional footballer looks fun, isn't it? Wonder what these workouts actually are for. But yeah, don't look like there's any surprises. 5 honours won at the London Football Awards. So Mikel Arteta, Declan Rice, David Raya, Eze, and Alicia Russo have all picked up awards. Big them up for that. Miles Lewis Skelly's picked up too many yellow cards, as I said, so he'll be ineligible against Mansfield. So yeah, man. What else have we got? I big up the New Yorkers, man. MK, one love, man. One love. We win, DG. We win, DG will meet his wife at the parade. You heard it here first. Wives. Gotta take it slow. Spurs will struggle to start giving their fixtures. The Tabs believe already got parade images at the ready. Someone said the title parade will be better than Carnival. Man, them catching wines at parade. Why not? DG, is this the most competitive season ever? You can't argue. Probably of recent memory. We can argue about the quality in the entertainment, but yeah. Because what? Liverpool at the start of the season, then they had a wobble. Aston Villa got themselves in a title shout. First half of the season was shit for Man United. Where are they now? We've been chuggling along. Sometimes it's looked like some fans of football, let alone Arsenal, has behaved like it's a given we're going to win the league. Start of the season, it was the handbrakes that not down. I remember the start of the season because we played Liverpool. We didn't beat City. Newcastle was to be fair, Liverpool and City as well, but Newcastle where it was the first. I felt like, oh my days, that if you lose this, you're not gonna win. Newcastle away, it's mad. History isn't kind to us. And then you've seen how we've kind of gone, really. Spurs have been one of the most consistent teams in that they were shit last year and they're shit now. Leeds got their act together of sorts. So yeah, it's only a problem when we do it, Aaron. But fuck her, man. What did you think about the awards? About those awards last night? Nice to see recognition for what Eze with his foundation and all that. Why not, bro? Ever hedging his bets. Gary Neville's the best hedge better because rivals are disingenuous. They'll sit there and say, "Oh, but Gary Neville's backing you to win the league." I'm not even gonna get into that, but we all know he's shameless. He keeps doing the Arsenal are gonna win the league. So then when he's doing that annoying thing about Arsenal and the disingenuousness, it's not that it comes from a place of love because we all know he's a pagan, but it looks like he's being sincere, bro. You can't twist us. And I saw this Arsenal fan tweet this. I don't agree with this bullshit. And TalkSport did me dirty because I was talking about a segment. They clipped it and it's like, I feel sorry for Spurs. I don't feel sorry for Spurs. I feel sorry for any football fan as a purist that feels disillusioned, but fuck them. They can go down. I want back-to-back, really. I want them to do a Luton thing. I want them to go to League 2. I want to see them playing in Ballers League. I want them gone. But anyways, not going to lie, even as an Arsenal fan, there's something that makes me uncomfortable with Spurs genuinely going down. I can't explain it. Am I being too soft? Does anyone feel a similar way at all? Yeah, that's an idiot thing. The only reason as an Arsenal fan you should not want Spurs you would want Spurs to stay in the Prem is because we're going to lose out on some of the easiest 6 points we've got. And to be fair, Eze, I might even be a bit more harsh on you because that's your favourite girl, Spurs, isn't it? Like, she's always got time for you. Big up Danny Welbeck and big up the away fans for, hailing them up. What did you lot make of this? Because I do think this is obvious. And there has been rumors about Fabio Vieira being sold and Nelson's on 100 grand. He needs to be moved on. And we could sit here and say, oh, Ben White's had injuries. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Odegaard's on big money. Is he going to stay or he's going to go? Trossard and Martinelli, they're always linked with that. 1 minute Havertz is linked with a move away and then new deals. There's a lot of players, and not just next season, but seasons. There's a lot of we got to be a bit cute and clever. But apparently, Arsenal will have to sell at least one first-team player this summer. It is understood there are discussions around who would yield the most lucrative sales and whether more than one player might have to go. Martinelli and Ben White are strong candidates. I mean, unfortunately, MLS and Wanyeri, that could be 100% profit and big money. I'd rather loan them out if they're not going to be utilized, and they might make more money for the club, even though I want them to stay and have long careers here, innit? If I'm honest with you. It'd be interesting to see what we do, but there is that. Again, some names have been Wanyeri, Miles Lewis Skelly, Gabriel Martinelli, potentially Martin Odegaard. None of these things can be verified, people. But yeah, Arsenal forced to agree major summer sell due to Eze and Gyökeres. And also, we have spent a lot of money, a lot of new deals. But if you could flog Fabio, Zinni's gone, so the wages look a bit cleaner. But if you could flog Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, there will be a couple. Apparently, Barca are sniffing around Martinelli. It'd be interesting to do what we do with Trossard because in terms of keeping the squad and having a player that's for now, there's logic with keeping him. You could argue though, next summer or this summer coming, you've never had a better chance or a stronger footing to sell him for decent P's, but I don't know. But yeah, we know what we spent, but apparently, according to a bombshell report from the Telegraph, who have revealed that Arsenal will have to sell at least one senior player this summer due to their transfer activity last year. And also, we probably expect a left winger, maybe a centre mid. Obviously, if scouts do their job, great. But when you're linked with Liao and this one and centre mid Tonali and Elliot Anderson, who's being linked with City, these are big ticket items. So we'll have to see. Mikel Arteta's side are currently in talks over which player could generate the largest transfer fee, with several stars in the running. It's reported that club captain Martin Odegaard is under consideration to depart, as he only has 2 years remaining on his current deal, and he could be sold for a major profit on the balance sheet. And he was signed for 30 million. But him and Kai Havertz, very links away from the club. There's links with new deals. Martinelli, Benjamin White are both strong candidates to be sold. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus gone 100%. Surely Jesus is gone. But even that, I think he'll be gone, and I think he needs to be gone regardless. It'd be nice to leave on a high, but even that, Gabriel Jesus is on significant wages, which you might not get elsewhere. And you've got another year on your deal. And we all know people like to run down their contracts to become a free agent. You're not at his mercy, but you're kind of at his mercy. And in terms of outgoings, Bert has done well generally since coming into the job in March. But now this is where I guess he earns his bread and butter. Same way it's Arteta's job during the season. And now this is where we see what the gaffer's on the transfer market, especially outgoings or just in general outgoings. That's where Andrea Alberto, apologies. This is where you earn your money, innit? This is where we see if your reputation lives up. Big him up, though, man. So, yeah, Benjamin White and Gabriel Martinelli have been name drops. Quite easy to do that. Kai Havertz, Jesus, Trossard, also potential names. And owing to, 100% profit, Wanyeri and Lewis Skelly could also be gone as well. Hasn't mentioned Fabio Vieira or Reece Nelson, who have been linked with moves as well. Gyökeres has been nominated for Premier League Player of the Month. Let's vote him that, even though I don't think he'll bag that. But you've got Gyökeres. O'Reilly's had a good month. Gyökeres, O'Reilly, Dango, Semenyo's been good. Sesko's finding his feet. Van Dijk. Not sure about that one, cuz. The last week has seen rumours of Martin Zubimendi wanting to return back to Spain. Zubimendi, don't disappoint me, But apparently, for what it's worth here, it's saying that he could be departing. But Indy Kaya, I don't know if he's credible. Elliot Anderson's apparently, if you read reports today, being linked with Man United, but is basically a City player for next season. Can't see that. We're not going to get anywhere near what we spent for Zubimendi. Not that he's been bad, but it's not making sense, man. It's not making sense. And if it is true, Real Madrid, you might as well sniff around. We're being linked to spending 75 million on Anthony Gordon. Big up Gordon. What's he got? 15 goals and 5 assists this season. Rather Nico Williams, but nonetheless, it is what it is. We're still being linked with Goretzka, as you guys know. We're still being linked with the teenager. I can never say his name, but Kenneth Ikong. He's a under 17s German international, 16 years of age, playing in the second division. I'm all for that. We've spoken about players being linked with or move away already at the club. We're still being linked with Yande on Monday, people, for 87 odd million quid, as well as Nico Williams. I don't know if I'm not the only one we're not going to get now or see rumors is Rodrigo, because he's out for time, innit? If you get Nico Williams, you get Nico Williams. But I'm over it, man. Like, I'm sure us and Barcelona fans, let alone clubs, are over it now. It's too much nonsense. Is what it is, man. The market for attackers is kind of dead. With us and Liverpool, as well as Man United, are still being linked with Kareem Adeyemi for one, but also Nathaniel Brown, who is a left back. Surely we're not. I won't say we're going to get a left back, but significant funds. Odegaard transfer won't come cheap. What's this? Who said this? Daily briefing. For what I'm hearing, however, it's not likely that Wanyeri or Miles Lewis Skelly will be leaving. Things could change, of course, but the people I spoke to were not aware of that as a concrete possibility. Wanyeri's loan move was intended to provide the young midfielder with experience rather than putting him in the shop window, and Lord knows he has. He got off to a great start. He's missed a penalty. He's been in outside. There's been a managerial change, good and bad. Obviously, we only care about like Wanyeri going over there, having a Saliba kind of loan. But these things are changing you. These things, the last 12, 18 months have taught you more in terms of being a professional footballer than just hanging around. Now, I do wish Wanyeri was still here, obviously, because there's another player to pick from. But nonetheless, things change. Both he and Miles Lewis Skelly only recently signed new long-term deals. 100 million euros for Odegaard. You're not going to get that. On Martinelli, one source told me, Bayern Munich, on Odegaard, when Martinelli 65 million dead. Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Barca, and Atletico Madrid will be interested in Odegaard's situation. A lot would depend on the structure of the deal, but expect them to be up there. I mean, if we could get a 50, 60 odd million with sell-on clause, I'd be for that. Atletico Madrid are apparently looking at Barcelona and Atletico looking at Martinelli. Really? It's easy to link, guys. We've been linked with an 18-year-old Werder Bremen defender, Karim Koulibaly. Why not if he's got potential to be better in the future? He's likely to cost 30 million euros. We'll do our homework. You can rest assured. We were linked with a young player. There's no way I can say his first name. Kostov. He's being linked with Inter Milan, and apparently they've got a gentleman's agreement. So another wonder kid probably bites the dust. What is this? We know Hincapié is going to join us permanently. Saka's obviously signed a new deal. No, I don't care about that. The price of everything in life is going up, and as are Arsenal's tickets, as we know. I would love Tommy Setford, in my opinion, should have went on loan, but yeah. Mikel Merino's traveled to Spain and will spend some time rehabbing in his homeland. That's great. Rice is helping the young players around at Arsenal. Okay, that's not anything new. That's what an experienced individual should be doing. Yeah, Saka said we don't listen to any of that stuff. Van Hecke is a villain as well, man. Absolute villain. Should Arsenal progress in both the FA Cup and Champions League, only one of their next 7 games will be in the Premier League. We've got to be able to handle that, man. We are going to have to be able to handle all of that. Wanyeri deserves 2 seasons in our squad before any talk of departure. So happy we didn't get Rodrigo in the summer. Best to him in his healing up, though. Hey, Blackie Chan, what a name. I hope his armpits in May. Don't think much transfer business will take place until after the World Cup. Be interesting to see how the transfer business, what squads look like going into next season, because obviously, as you said, there's a World Cup. Be interesting to see what the top teams look like in the first half of the season, because half your players are going to be at the World Cup. Jesus needs to be gone. I can't lie. Thanks for the memories, but we need better. A front three of Leao, Jesus, and Noni be so waving. Certain games. I'm looking sideways at any so-called Arsenal fan that's sad about Spurs going down. Do you know how arrogant they've been for years? Couldn't happen to a better group. Tell them again. If Arsenal win the title and Spurs get relegated, send Spurs straight to League One. I'll be on that. And like you said here, Michael, big up yourself because you're always in the comments. Gary Neville's hedging his bets, man. Like they're hedging their bets. All we can do in conclusion, people, is just keep moving. But with that being said, I'll be back for the watch-alongs and whatnot tomorrow. Turn on your notification bells because there's hella videos and cut-up clips and whatnot. I know you haven't watched all the content this week, so make sure you do that. But why waste your Friday listening to me, man? So, yeah, big up yourselves. Thank you very much for helping us achieve our, getting to 73,000. Hopefully, we can get to 100 before not too long. Hope you've all had a great week. Hope you all had a great weekend to come, and we'll link up tomorrow. But for now, peace.
Like